It failed, but it didn't die. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how my business failed and how I plan to make this same business earn 100K a month. The first topic that I'm going to talk to you guys about is people, right? So when you guys first start a business, the main thing that you guys need to understand is you can't just have friends a part of your business, which is something that I highly don't recommend doing at the start of your business. You cannot have people that are your friends or your family to be a part of a business if they don't come with two things. And that's going to be hard work, number one. And number two, skills. They don't have any skills, they're not going to do anything for the business that you're trying to create or build. The business could be super good, but if they don't have the skill sets and the hard work to be able to scale this business from zero to whatever dollar figure that you have in mind, then there is going to be no use case for just having friends and family a part of your business, right? Everybody isn't going to respect the business the same way that you respect the business, and you can expect that, all right? You can only have people that's a part of the business that understands business already. Before they even meet you, they already tried business, number one. They had something of success, a part of that business, number two, and they have the willpower and accountability to own up to things that they know either hurt the business or they're able to push the business higher. My main thing when I first started doing business was judging people's character. I usually would give people the benefit of the doubt and give them ample amount of chances till I realized those chances wasn't only just hurting the business, but it was hurting me mentally as well to be able to fix. You have to build new systems around old mistakes. It's just a lot of different things that you're going to have to keep going backwards to go forward in order for you to actually like see the full potential in the business, which I don't say that that's a bad thing, because especially if you're at the start of a business or something like that, you might want to see those things early, right? Like you don't want to be like me where this business is earning, 5 figures a month and you have to scale back because of some technical difficulties that might have happened or some mistakes that could literally destroy the business and things of that nature. You kind of want to like be around the energy of everybody is trying to be so careful because of the fact that they know that it can hinder the business in some type of way, and we can, initially start from scratch if certain mistakes happen, right? So one thing that you have to understand is one mistake can make you go back to zero. So that's why it's so hard for businesses to stay up and running. That's why you see a lot of decline in business. That's why you see a lot of business go bankrupt, because in business, it's all about who could be, I don't want to say perfect, but almost damn near perfect all the way to the top until they get to a ceiling where it's unbreakable, right? Like that's the goal in business, is to get to a certain ceiling in the business to where it's unbreakable for you to even damage the business. So the number one thing that I would say for you guys starting a business is to select the right people at the start, and do not select people off comfortability, okay? That's going to be something that you really regret. That's going to be something that hinders your growth in the business. And if you're anything like me, that's like super motivated and enthusiastic about like what you're building because of you love the fact of seeing something from scratch going to something, like it's going to be deteriorating to see that something go back to nothing, okay? So you don't want to do that. I'm in the phase of, if you know how to do this job, then you can be a part of this business and you can earn a lot of money, right? Like, and that got to be the mindset that you have to start off with, right? But nobody taught me these things, but I'm teaching you today, right? Pick people that you don't have to teach, but you can coach, all right? It's a difference between teaching and coaching. It's just like somebody playing basketball. Like, you want somebody that know already how to lay the ball up, and then you can coach them different ways on how to move their body, right? You don't want to teach somebody how to lay the ball up. It's just going to take too much time, too much practice. Like, you don't want to spend too much time on that one person on the team when you can already have a selection of 15 people on the bench that already know how to do a right hand or a left hand layup, right? So it's the same thing in business. Like, if I got to teach this certain area of business to you, then 9 times out of 10, I probably don't need you a part of this business because of the fact that, it's just going to be too much going backwards to go forwards, trying to deal with that one person. Number one, remember, pick skillful people and people that are willing to work their hardest to see something go from 0 to whatever dollar figure that you wanted to go at. Number two, this is something that I'm changing, right? So before I was just doing selling on Amazon FBA. As I got later in the year and I started building a team, this is how I'm building this business back to the strongest business ever, right? I'm deciding to go on multiple different platforms now. As my horizon expanded, I was able to see more opportunity in what I was building, right? But that, honestly, I gotta say, that came out of me wanting to build a team. I feel like if I didn't want to build a team, then I probably wouldn't be seeing all the opportunities in which we can expand and scale business at, because when it was just me, I was already good making X amount of dollars each month, right? Like, so I wasn't really pushing myself to make any more because I was thinking about leveraging money in other places, right? But as a team came along, the way that I am, I start thinking about how can I pay these people without me having to directly have to pay them out of pocket, right? So my whole thing was I wanted to make bosses. And that was another thing that I made a mistake on, was trying to make everybody a boss instead of like just trying to put everybody in place to be able to earn income, right? Like, everybody can't be a boss. That's a no-no, right? Like, everybody don't have the same mentality, the same drive, the same understanding of business to even be a boss, right? But everybody can't earn infinite amount of dollars, right? So going into this year in 2026, my main thing is to expand on as many different platforms as possible to scale the brand, right? Whether that's in sales with product, right? Because I do Amazon FBA and we sell a plethora of different products now. It used to start with just books, right? Like just books, but now we sell everything that you could think of. In this game of wholesale liquidation, there's not one product that can't sell, right? Like, everything can sell if you can get at the right margin and if you have the right connections, right? So that's the main thing. You have to have the right system in line to be able to pay for this product, that product, this product, that product, right? To be able to be profitable, and not lose a lot of money, because there is a false perception that people will spend money and show the world that they made money, but in reality, they either broke even or lost a lot of money. Just because this person made $60,000 in 1 month doesn't mean that they didn't spend $55,000 or they didn't spend $65,000, to be able to accumulate the money that they either, made or lost, right? So that's stuff that people don't understand. False perception is real. People will play this content game to make it seem like it's something bigger than what it really is, but in reality, they either made a small profit off their investment, or they didn't make any profit, or they broke even. So that's something that you guys have to understand. Like, don't just go based off what you think or what you see, right? Go based off the logic of which someone explains the business model in, right? So our main thing is, not only are we going to sell on, Amazon, but there's platforms like eBay, TikTok. You now have Whatnot. You have all these different live platforms that you can sell on, that people are scaling on and crushing it, right? So you kind of want to like expand your horizon and sell on everything that you can and maximize your time throughout the day. So that's something that we as a team are going to do. It does take a lot of work. It does take a team of people, but if you have the right team in place, then you can earn infinite amount of dollars, right? And that's something that we realize, right? Like, we can't be limited to one platform and think that we're gonna scale this business to $100 million a year, right? Like, we have to be able to leverage off so many different platforms to get our brand out there, to be able to say, hey, we can make a sale off 5 different platforms in one day, than just one platform, right? So just imagine making 20, 30 sales a day off 5 different platforms. You're making, say each item is, I don't know, $10 to $20, still regardless, like that's 5 different platforms, 20 different items being sold, right? You're making a lot of money. You want to have a system to where you're not only listing, but you're selling, live and things of that nature, right? You also want to know, when you get this money, what are you going to do with this money, right? Are you going to put back into the business? Are you going to take a small portion, put it to your investments? It all depends on the person, right? All I can do is tell you what I plan to do going in 2026 as a wholesale liquidation person. That's my niche. That's something that I really enjoy doing because of the hunt, because of the grind, and it's a lot more foundational, I feel, for you to run, because you can't really go wrong with having the right products if you know how to do product research. As long as you know how to do product research, it's nothing really you can fail at. Also, when doing this business, you also want to have a clientele base. Say you can't move product and you do need to break even, right? Like, at least you have a clientele base that you can hit up, and let them know that, hey, I got X amount of pallets ready for you guys. If you guys need it, I give it to you for a great deal, and you break even on your money, you go get some new product, and you keep repeating the process. So that foundation to be able to escape bad investments, but also to be able to turn a bad investment into a good investment, which is a lot of people don't have this type of understanding of business. See, now with service, it's great, but you have to heavily rely on your clientele. With wholesale liquidation, it's a mix of both. Like, you have a service, but you also have your product, So I think the best type of business model is when you have a hybrid type of business model, when you have service and you have product. You can't just lean too much on one side, because of the fact that it could be a risk on product, just like it could be a risk on not having enough clients that you can service. And even with a service-based business, I feel like you kind of limit yourself to how many clients you could take on. So then you have to put trust into outsourcing into other individuals that might not have the same level of work as you, and that might tarnish your brand, or it might not be as good of work that the client is expecting, right? So for us, it's more safer of a play for us to be able to say, hey, we touch the product, we see the product, we know what we give to our clients, and we know how to move the product for our clients to be able to coach them on how to flip this product amongst X amount of different platforms, right? But we also can have product for ourselves to where we can leverage this into multiple different platforms and also get quick sales because of the fact that our name is out there, right? That's just something to think about in a business. Like, do you really want to lean more on one side, or do you want to have a hybrid type of business to where you're not just servicing people and you're not just selling product to people, but you're doing a blend of both to where you can make money on both sides? And that's a foundation that I would say wins 100% of the time. Also, going into this year, right, in 2026, is how to make your money make money, right? So we have systems when it comes down to trading, that we plan on incorporating into our business model to help us scale a portion of the profits that we make from this business model, to be able to say, hey, if I make, let's say, $20,000 in 1 month, right? Can I take $2,000 and make another $10,000 or $20,000 from that? To be able to, we gotta sell. I know y'all heard that cha-ching, but yeah, it's just every day. Every day you get infinite amount of money, and you want to make sure that you know the right places to put your money and how to flip this money, right? So as you guys see, or as you guys going to continue to see how we built this business from, I'm not going to say fully zero, because it's not fully zero, but from where it used to be to where it is now, you guys going to see a drastic change in just numbers, because of the fact that through mistakes, we were able to build the best and indestructible system that you can even think of. We got the best system in the game, and I know it because I'm going to show it, and whoever don't believe it now will believe it later, because of the fact that we spent time. I spent years, dedication, infinite amount of time on my laptop to be able to build a system that doesn't break and has a calculation on every step of the way, to be able to say, where is this money coming from to pay for this? Who is going to buy this? Who's going to buy that? What kind of group chats do we have? And also, where are we selling products on, right? How are we going to scale the capital? What percentage of the capital are we going to use for trading? And And we also building a lot of faceless channels like that you guys don't even know about, that you guys won't know about, because of the fact that we really on the grind. We're not too loud with it. As you guys can see, like, I'm just business oriented. I'm not here for the fame. I'm not here for, just the notoriety. I'm here to be like organically, like genuine and like pure. Like, if you guys have questions, you guys can drop that in the comments, and we can really chop it up. The plan is to build a community, to be able to give a lot of sauce away. Don't spend money that you don't have. Acquire skill, use skill to build foundation. Take the foundation, which is the capital, and put it into something that's tangible. In business, you have to be a super strong person. You can't be somebody that can be walked all over. You have to be firm. You have to be confident, and you gotta like go with it. You have to have a discipline also about yourself. Because people can smell that, sense that, and people can smell when it's new fish in the sea, right? Like, you can't come to an OG in the game and present yourself like new fish, because they're not gonna want to work with you, bro. Nobody wants to work with it's very rare. I'm not gonna say nobody, but I'm gonna say it's very rare that an OG in the game want to work with somebody that's an entry level person. So you gotta do your job in the home front to prepare yourself for the opportunity to be able to sit at big baller tables, to be able to step in rooms and people feel that energy out of you because you got that dog in you. And if you don't have that as a business person, I'm telling you right now, bro, you will fail. You will fail a lot of times until you get tired of being the weak link in the room or being the weak link at the table. Like, if you can't sit at a table and you can't confidently have a conversation on whatever it is that you're building, then you don't need to be at that table until you fully understand your business model. You should be able to break your business model down. Not saying that you tell everybody your business model and things of that nature, but you should be able to explain exactly what you're doing confidently to where the next person that's sitting across from you can really understand like your process. You get what I'm saying? Like, so as for me, I know the number one thing that really helped me, the number one job that really helped me in sales was working at a car dealership. Work a job that you have to earn commission from, and I promise you, you will learn everything that you need to know in business on how to sell yourself, how to sell a product, how to sell yourself, and how to handle rejection. A lot of people fail in business because they simply don't know how to handle rejection. Handle rejection. It's okay to be rejected. It's okay to feel like you're beneath someone, because all that's gonna do is add fuel to the fire to be able to say that no one is no better than me. Everybody is human, and I can become whatever it is that I'm wanting to become. Nobody can stop you from becoming exactly what you want to become. Only you can stop you from becoming what you want to become. Understand that as a business-minded person, no one can stop you. Only you can stop you. So if you allow yourself to stop yourself, then you fail you. Nobody is in control of the success of your life, your business, nothing. Put more work in, have more confidence, and keep powering up. I used to have to get on cold calls with people that probably already been called 110 different times, right? But it didn't stop me from being the 111th person calling and saying, hey, how you doing? My name is blah, 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 blah. I'm here to sell you this car, right? Or your car has X amount of mileage on it. It could be appraised for the price of a new one. It doesn't matter. Like, you have to figure out how to reel your customers in and sit them at a table and get them to sign whatever it is that you're giving them, because you feel like you have the best product in the market for the best price possible. So you have to deal with them objections and figure out how to make those objections into successful signatures. And this is something that every business owner has to learn. You got to learn how to sell yourself. Once you learn how to sell yourself, then you know how to sell anything. Because if you can get someone to believe in your vision, then hey, it's just like you selling Apple product. Like, everybody already know Apple is good. Like, they're gonna buy it no matter what the cost is, no matter if they keep going up $1,000 on a laptop each and every year. It doesn't matter. They know the product is good. They've been buying it for years, so they trust it. So once people trust you as a seller, then they're gonna always keep coming back to you. Not only are they gonna come back to you, but they're gonna bring more people to come to you. So understand that who you are as a person is very important in business, because it can either make you more business or you won't get any business at all, because of the fact that you're not confident enough within yourself to even be the boss that you're asking yourself to be. So that is mainly what you want to do. You want to be confident in who you're becoming. There was times where I felt at my lowest because of the fact that, you see yourself build something to such a high level, and you know that you've done everything that you could to sustain this, but you just didn't have the right guidelines in place or the right systems in place to sustain it, right? But that creates character. Pain creates character. You have to go through stomach feelings to be able to feel numb to the failure. Like once you get to the point where you feel numb in the right way to failure, I'm not saying feel numb in the sense of it's okay to fail. I'm saying feel numb in the way of failure doesn't affect what I'm gonna do tomorrow. All right, like it's just like a trader, right? If you want to be a profitable trader, you have to forget about yesterday's trade if yesterday's trade was a loss, right? You have to focus on today. So if you could just focus on the next day and the next day and the next day without having to go backwards into the last day, you would become a very good individual regardless, because of the fact that you don't hold on to yesterday's misery. You just focus on today's triumph. And that's the main thing that you want to focus on anyway, because yesterday you can't get back. You might as well focus on the day that you have right in front of you, right? It takes a lot of discipline to build a business. You might not be having so much fun, each and every day with your friends and things of that nature. It really depends on how ambitious you are on this business and how much you really believe on this business being able to change not only your life, but your family's life and your future family life. That's something that I really focus on as a man, is I often think about not only changing my life, but how can I create a life for my future family? How can I make life better for the family that I'm in now with my immediate family, and that keeps me driven, like you have to have a purpose, you have to have something that drives you each and every day to get up and work your hardest and to be able to erase the distractions that might come into your life. There's going to be a lot of friends that get you out on the weekends and want you to play around and spend money with them. It's going to be a lot of distractions or activities that you might want to get into, but you have to understand, like, if you're in your 20s, you have plenty of life to enjoy your life. You have a lot of people that enjoy their life so early that, I hate to say it, that life end up being short for them, you don't want to be in, I used to tell, people, like, why would I want to be in an area where 99% of the people that's inside this place, right, is 9-to-5 workers, and after this weekend they're gonna go back into reality and do a whole repeat of life. I want to be in places that are high-end luxury, that everybody can afford to be in, because of the fact that you're going to see a different group of people. And if conversations spark up with those type of people, then they're often going to be somewhat intelligent or somewhat of a business opportunity or whatever the case may be, but it's going to be knowledgeable. Why would I want to be around 160,000 drunk people on a Friday night and then come back on Monday, snap back into reality of the struggles and misery of life, and then do it all over again on the weekend? It's just like, somebody told me a very, very good rule. It said you're going to have people that are 40 and 40. You're going to have people that work 40 hours a week for 40 years. When somebody told me that, I was so like, man, 40 hours for 40 years. You got people that work 40 hours for 40 years and still don't have 6 figures saved up. Still don't have $10,000 saved up. Still don't have $5,000 saved up. Still don't have $1,000 saved up. Do you know how crazy that sounds? To be a person stuck in that loophole of life, and you get to the ages of 50, 40, 60, and you look back and say, wow, I literally play with my life all my life, and I have nothing to show for that show that I even worked 40 hours a week for 40 years. Like, I mean, damn, you should at least have your dream car or something, or your dream crib at that point that's all built up and nice, right? At the least. Why would I want to put myself in the matrix of, you know what, I'm gonna F my life over by doing the things that I'm not supposed to be doing in my young years, so therefore making it harder for me to do those same things that I should have done in my young years in my older years. It's not going to be the same energy, bro. It's not going to be the same way. So you want to take advantage of your 20s right now, build something sustainable. So therefore, when you get to those ages, bro, it just printed money for you, bro. It's just printing money for you. You have the right people in place. You might have employees, everything in place for you just to live your life. Like if you just take 1 year, 2 years of sacrifice, sit down, lock yourself in a room, grind your hardest, you will be able to live your life for the rest of your life. Why would people not want to live their life for the rest of their life just by sacrificing 2 years of it? If you're 22 and you grind to 24, if you're 20 and grind at 22, if you're 18 and grind at 20, if you're 16 and grind at 18, you are putting more years on your life because you will be able to explore it for the rest of it. You don't have to stress. You don't have to spend 8 hours in a place that you don't want to spend 8 hours on. You get to wake up every day, do what you want to do, and live the best possible life that you can. Because you created a foundation that spit money out. You have people that make $1,000 a day, $1,000 an hour, $1,000 a minute. Just remember that. You have people that make $1,000 a day, $1,000 an hour, $1,000 a minute. You got people that make what? $160 a day, $150 a day, $20 an hour, and what? 60-something cents a minute. Imagine that. Imagine that when I just told you that you have people that make $1,000 a day, $1,000 an hour, or $1,000 a minute. Who do you think is going to have more life to live? You get what I mean? Who do you think is going to have more life to live? You tell me. Who do you think is going to have more life to live? The people that's making $1,000 a day, $1,000 an hour, $1,000 a minute, or the people that's making $160 a day, $20 an hour, and 60-something cents a minute? I'm just saying, I don't say that to break anybody down, but I'm here to tell you that it's possible for everybody to be the people that's making $1,000 a day, an hour, a minute. If you spend all your time on enjoyment, then you will never be, enjoying the way that you think that you enjoying now, right? Like, if you're gonna spend all your time on the weekends trying to pop out with friends and trying to like distract yourself of the busy week that you had, look, everybody is grown. Everybody is doing the same thing that you're doing. And you're no different than the next person for you to be trying to make excuses for yourself of why you need to go out to like clear your mental space. Look, mental space has nothing to do with distracting yourself from what you're going through. Look, if you're going to be, in your mental space, you have to deal with how you're feeling and why you're feeling that way, not avoiding the way that you're feeling because of the fact that you don't like it. Doesn't make sense. So going into 2026, that is exactly how I'm going to build my business from where it is now to $100,000 a month. And I'm going to show you guys the whole process by documenting my journey day in, day out as I've been doing. And I hope that you guys take this advice. I hope you guys can relate to it. For anybody that want to grind, I hope you guys just stay consistent with this journey with me. And as we go along this journey, hopefully we can motivate each other. So click the like button, subscribe button, and drop a comment and let me know what type of business you're starting in 2026. Let's go.